Now we are going to think about a welfare for wealth. The welfare of the people, that was the one of the main aim of the king, not for purposely or like that. That was the rule of that time. Now also, if you are thinking like that, governments they are thinking about welfare of the people. That's why they are taking different types of schemes, policies like that. And we have seen that one in sixth standard, how the gram panchayats they are taking care of the people's life and other things. So we are noticing ruling dynasty has based a specific region. Each and every rulers they are having some particular area, and same time they try to control other areas also. Then they are fighting for that one also, and each and every kings they was fighting each other to get power in their hand. And here we can see how they tried, and from war to war they was going and trying, especially the areas where there is more fertility. That areas each and every kings they will try to get it, especially in the areas of Ganga river or Indus river, like that area. There was a fight, and here we can see three parties together they was fighting. They want to get Kanauj area under them. So the historians calling like that tripartite struggle, because three kings they was fighting for many years. That's why. And we can see again that we are some of the explanation you will get in coming lessons, that is in third lesson, fourth lesson, like that. As well as the rulers also try to demonstrate their power and resources by building large temples. What they are doing, they are making the large temples. One of the lesson is there about the construction, the structures what they made in the time of kings. Then by that they are getting attraction from the people, and they are getting fame in front of other kingdoms also. And by that what they want to show, they want to show the richness, that we are going to study in detailed way in fifth lesson. So we are moving to next one. That lesson also coming, that is Delhi Sultans. And in that Muhammad Ghazani of Afghanistan, he ruled in 997 to 1030, and he was controlled maximum part in Central Asia, and from Iran, and in the Iran and the northwestern part of subcontinent. And he raided the subcontinent almost every year. Every year he tried to get wealth in his hand, and his target was maximum times that was wealthy temples, that is from Somanath temple in Gujarat. And he carried, whenever he is getting chance, he is plunder the temples and taken that money to decorate his own capital, that is at Ghazni. And another one, Sultan Muhammad was also interested finding out more about the people he conquered, and he entrusted the scholar named Al Biruni to write an account of the subcontinent. And here another one king, he was interested to learn about the people's life. So he is appointed one person to write about the details of Indian subcontinent. And that book's name it is Kitab al Hind. Kitab al Hind, written by Al Biruni. The Biruni, he was the writer of Sultan Muhammad, and he's consulted with the Sanskrit scholars to prepare the account. This account he is prepared with the help of Sanskrit scholars. With the help of them, Sanskrit scholars, he got the information about Indian subcontinent. Then other kings who was engaged in the this welfare warfare, that not only one means maximum, we can see the Chauhans of Madhya Pradesh as well as Maharashtra, and they reached in Delhi and Ajmer, and they attempted to expand their control in the west and the east. Both sides they want to expand, even though from Madhya Pradesh, then they reach to Delhi, Ajmer area, and from there both sides they try to extend their area. Then Chalukyas of Gujarat, they are trying to Gahandawalas of the western Uttar Pradesh, and they are also trying to get rule over other parts of the country. Then another one is Chahamana ruler was the Prithviraja III, who defeated an Afghan ruler named Sultan Muhammad Ghori in 1191, but lost his next year. Means one of the Indian king, and he defeated the one of the Sultan of Afghanistan, but he lost his power in next year itself. So what we are discussing, the kings, they was very much interested in warfare, and they was thinking about wealth also. Then we are moving to next page. We are moving to next page. Okay, here again it is given one of the map, that one it is we can see that one. Closer look at the Cholas, that is our own king, Tamil Nadu king. So we are going to study about him, and we can see here in the map it is given like that, where, from where to where, and here this is the starting location of them. When we are reading that time, we want to remember that one. Tanjavur is very famous present, and we know where it is. So this is the location. Tanjavur and nearby area was the major location of the kings, Chola kings. We are going to see that one from um, Urayur to Tanjavur. They are starting their rule from Urayur to Tanjavur, and Chola's power, and when they got, when a minor chiefly family known as the Mut- Muttrayar held power in the Kaveri Delta. The Kaveri River, we can see the Kaveri River also here in the map, and here it is made the delta because of the deposits of Kaveri River. In that area, there was one small subordinator, and from the subordinator of Pallava kings, and that he is from Pallava kings kingdom. It was there in Kanchipuram, and Vijayanaya, who belonged to the ancient chiefly family of the Chola, and from Urayur, and captured the delta, and from the Muttrayar in the middle of the 9th century. Means the one of the subordinator of Pallavas, he is dominating, means capturing the Mutraya's area in mid of the 9th century, and he built a town. That town name it is Tanjavur, and that is he made different temples also, and nowadays it is known as temple town. Tanjavur is known as temple town, that we will study detailed way in fifth lesson. So we are moving to next part, that is the successor of Vijayalaya. He conquered the neighboring regions, and the kingdom grew in the size and power. Then Pandyans and the Pallavas territories to the south and north were made part of his kingdom. Means the second person of this time, he is conquering the some of the parts from Pandya and Pallava kingdom. Then next person is coming. Rajaraja I, considered the most powerful Chola ruler, and he is becoming ruler in 985, and expanded his power to the other areas also. Then he reorganized the administration, and then his son, that is the Rajaraja Rajendra I, continued the policies and even raided Ganga Valley. Means the Rajaraja I, he started to conquer many other places, and his son Rajendra I also conquering. Even they are reaching to Ganga Valley, from Kaveri Valley to Ganga Valley. They are reaching at the same time. They are reaching to Sri Lanka. Then other countries of the Southeast Asia. They are trying to develop their trying to conquer other Southeast Asia out of Indian subcontinent. and they are developing their army and for the war purpose. Then what are things we studied today? We can go through once again the main topics, only headings, not the explanation. Already you have heard the explanation. And first one, it is the map what we studied, the different kings we can see. Then the next part, it is the emergence of new dynasties, then administration of the kingdoms. Then we can see precious and land grants what the kings was giving, and warfare for wealth. They are conducting wars for getting maximum wealth. The next topic what we studied, the one of the closer look to the Chola kings. That next part we will continue, means next day we will continue the continuation of the lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.